Hey there, it's Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. Today, serving up a little VO secret sauce. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to my good friend and web guy. Everybody needs a good web guy or gal, Jeff Bianchi. Jeff has agreed to help those out, people I coach, people who watch my YouTube channel, by offering a very deep discount, 50% discount on setting up your website. And now, let me just say quickly how important it is to have a great website if you're going to be in a business of any sort, but to have somebody who is actually attentive to what you need, is responsive to what you need, and make sure that your website is always up and running as well as looking fantastic. And you can check out his work at BillDeWeese.com because he's the only guy I let touch my website. Jeff has agreed to set you up for half price, $49 to get a pro VO website set up. But you've got to go to VOWebsites.com. That's the URL, VOWebsites.com, and you will automatically be given the 50% off DeWeese discount. All right, so today we're talking about the secret sauce of voiceover. What is it? What is that magic fairy dust that will turn auditions that are getting declined or getting a no response, which is the typical response? If you don't get hired, usually you don't hear anything, to, hey, I want you to do this job. What will turn your auditions, what will turn your performance into a magnet for people? Here it is. Are you ready? Lean on in here. The VO secret sauce is vulnerability. Vulnerability. That is it. It's actually the exact opposite of what we intuitively want to do when we get behind a microphone. A microphone tends to make us want to perform, to put on a show. But what people want, people meaning those who hear our work, whether they're hiring us or whether they hear us on radio, TV, or corporate training or whatever it is, they want to feel a connection to you. That's what causes them to pay attention. That's what draws them in. That's ultimately what gets you hired. Vulnerability. So what is that? It's the taking down of this facade, or this, I always like to say, we like to put a veneer over everything. We like to make it shiny and pretty. But that's not what clients, that's not what the end listener wants to hear. They want to hear you. You know what it's like when you're talking to somebody and when you make yourself vulnerable, you're no longer trying to project an image or, ego. It's just about sharing how you truly feel about something. And the walls come down. They lean in. They want to hear what you have to say because they know that it's about to get real at that point. And people can smell BS a mile away. But when you're vulnerable, people want to hear what you have to say. So how do you do that in voiceover? Because we're not working with our words and our story. We're working with somebody else's. So as I always tell my students, you have to make it personal. The way to do this is simply this. I say simply, it takes a little bit of work, but it's really not a complicated process. And that is, you have to allow yourself to be and feel vulnerable as you read the script. So here's an exercise for you, and this is something I encourage my students to do. I want you to make a note of this, write this down. This is really important, and I guarantee you it will help you tremendously in winning more auditions. I want you to think of it this way. There are three things. What makes you laugh? What makes you cry? And what makes you angry? What makes you laugh? What makes you cry? And what makes you angry? More than anything else in those three categories. Because when you think about that and make that personal in your life, what makes you laugh, what makes you cry, what makes you angry, you will begin to feel those emotions and you will let your guard down when you communicate. And I encourage my students to go so far as to actually write down the thing that makes them cry, that makes them sad, the thing that makes them happy, the thing that makes them laugh, and the thing that makes them most angry. Keep it in their studio as a reference. And before they read an audition, to read it out loud and begin to put yourself in that situation and feel that emotion. And as you feel the emotion, whether it's anger or joy or sadness, the guard will come down. And when you begin to read the script, it will just be you. And it won't be that facade. It won't be that veneer that you trying to make it sound good. Even it may be subconscious, but we all do it to some degree. But vulnerability, that is the secret sauce. And it's the thing that you have to work at hard to master. And, I've been working at this for a long time. And I'll tell you, once I discovered and learned that, it really changed the trajectory of my career. And I continue to work on it today. And I just want to strongly encourage you, make a note. What makes you angry? In other words, what makes you happy, what makes you laugh, and what makes you cry? And if you think about those things, write those things down, internalize them before you read. Not all three, just pick one and internalize it and feel it. And if you do, I guarantee you, it will make your auditions better, meaning your chances of getting hired are going to be better, which means your rate of auditions to wins, and bookings will become greater, which means you'll make more money in voiceover. But it begins with that secret sauce, that magic fairy dust of vulnerability. Work on it, practice it. It will make a big difference. And then, leave a comment below. Let us know how it's working for you and share your thoughts. Thank you so much for checking out the video today. I appreciate it. I hope you like, share, subscribe. And also, coming up, this is important, a week from the day that this is being released. So coming up on Wednesday, August 12th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Central, a free voiceover webinar featuring the three wise guys and gal. My daughter, Mallory Hanford, who is just absolutely killing it in Fiverr. I mean, if you think Fiverr's about $5 jobs, then you don't know what's going on. You have no idea what's going on. My last job on Fiverr paid, and it was a little corporate job, less than a half hour, paid $650. My daughter makes 4 times what I make on Fiverr through voiceover. So anyhow, she has a lot to say about that. Mike Hathcote, who is an expert in social media and media marketing, and then also Keith Harris, will be talking about how to turn your current clients into more valuable clients by getting them to come back and hiring you again and again. And it's a Q&A. That's what this is. This is a Q&A. It's a follow-up to our VO Summer Series that we did recently. But this is absolutely free. It'll go for about an hour. I hope you'll be there. I'll put a link below in the description, so register and show up and be a part of that and learn a lot. And don't forget, be vulnerable when you're behind the mic. If you're vulnerable, you will win more jobs. Talk to you soon.